Hi dear friends, welcome back here to the channel. Today we are going to see the subtle on microaggressions. Yes, microaggressions, don't let these subtle exchanges fool you. The term microaggressions was first introduced in 1970 by Harvard University psychiatrist Chester M. Pierce, and it refers to the everyday verbal, non-verbal, and environmental snaps or insults, whether intentional or unintentional, that convey derogatory or negative messages to target persons based on solely on their marginalized group identities. Yes, they are subtle messages that projects the target person as lesser human beings who deserve an inferior status or treatment. They are not just limited to human encounters but may also be social in nature. Say, when a person of color is exposed to an office setting that unintentionally excludes his or her racial heritage or identity, although they are generally discussed in the context of race or racism, but any marginalized group in a society can come under its domain, whether it is people of color, people from different communities, women, people with disabilities, Dalit, Bahujan, and Adivasis, and so on. Microaggressions are the results of implicit bias that people carry with them. Is one of the major type of microaggressions that often go unnoticed because many a times it is difficult to distinguish them from typical instances of insults as gender microaggressions. It is abundant in our society. These are seemingly innocuous comments that can pile up over time and affect a person's sense of self or identity. Mostly, women face such microaggressions on a daily basis that add up to something more than just a single instance of harassment. They are so common that women often don't even notice them, that are so subtle that men don't notice them happening to the women around them. Nevertheless, they are so normalized even in spaces like a workplace that they seem like a ubiquitous part of being a woman in our society. Here are some of the microaggressions that confront us on a daily basis and form the fabric of gender inequality. While we see this sentence phrase, when a boy is aggressive with some other child, his actions are justified through the phrase, boys will be boys. Underlining this message, it implies that certain things are human nature for boys but not for girls. It is also a damaging phrase that leads boys to believe that they are not really responsible for their own behavior. When a girl is told to act like a lady, underlying this message, this phrase is a manifestation of the standard that is based on historical gender roles. It implies that girls and women should adhere to certain ladylike character traits like being polite or not be being aggressive. When an assertive female boss is called a bitch, whereas an assertive male boss is called a fierce leader. Underlying this message, the role of women at a workplace should be passive and men should be the sole decision makers. When women are told, you are too qualified for a woman, underlying message, the knowledge and expertise of a woman is less valuable than that of a man. When women hear whistles and cat calls from men while they walk down the streets, underlying this phrase, the body and appearance of women is for the enjoyment of men and implies the reduction of women to mere sex objects. As here, the microaggressions plays an important role in everyone's life. Sexual orientation microaggressions also take place. The phenomenon of this orientation microaggressions has only certainly begun to be addressed, but the research in this area has focused primarily upon the experience of lesbians, gay, bisexual, or queer identified individuals. Every day, the people face the subtle discrimination in the form of sexual orientation or gender microaggressions as they try to go about their life. Given so, I am concluding here. Better assimilate to dominant culture, leave your culture outside. Thank you. Be blessed.